Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. It's my beautiful portals of love. We're going to find out what you're hiding. What are you hiding? I don't know. We're going to find out. These have been so interesting. It should be interesting. I think any of the water signs to actually try to figure out what you're hiding would be kind of a challenge for me. So yeah, we're gonna do, it's kind of similar to the mask that you hide behind, but I ask questions are slightly different, so we get slightly different answers here. And it's more like, yeah, what are you hiding? You're either hiding something, you're hiding behind something. I'm gonna start out first with who you obviously are, what people obviously see of you, and really, yeah, who you are. And then we're going to get into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to start with, oh gosh, what is going on with this energy? This is really, y'all, I feel I'm really pulling in like a lot of real spiritual people lately, which is kind of exciting for my channel. I really do like that. I appreciate that. I think that's beautiful. It's almost like creating a space, but so your underline is Messiah. We have Cancer. You are going to start the reading with the archetype deck. And then I'm going to go into the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Oh, look at you. Sun and Cancer. Resourcefulness at the bottom. That's cool. And then I have my teeny tiny Everyday Witches Tarot. 6 of Wands is at the bottom. So that's how I'm going to do this reading. It's really interesting. It gives us a lot to think about and ponder. And as I say that, you know, remember it is a general reading. And because of that, it may not resonate. If it does resonate, and you're drawn to it, there is an extended link to that is at the top of the description within this video. Let's try that again. I'm getting better with this deck. I really have to strengthen like my thumb muscle and up here to do it. Okay. Cancer. Let's see like who you really are. The obvious of Cancer. Who is Cancer really? And then what's you hiding? What are you hiding, Cancer? Who are you? Well, you're somebody who's been bullied. I will say that. You're somebody who's been bullied here. Okay, but your shell. Okay, I'm reading this like I would read it with Cancer's energy. You've been bullied, so there is a tendency to try to intimidate others to protect yourself. It's part of the outer shell that you have. This is actually, though, meant to help you confront the inner fears that are bullying you. So there's almost like some internal trust issues going on here. Protective. I'm going to say the biggest message I'm getting with that card for like who you really are is protective. Highly protective, because people have hit that soft, gooey spot inside of you many times. And so you're kind of warranted here to be protective. But it might end up being a little bit intimidating to others. I don't know. Just so you know. Like, I don't know if that's your problem or not. It's just like, whatever. Well, you're protective, and it might be intimidating to others. But, you know, it might also kind of signal in a way, is this person strong enough to be with me? Or is this person strong enough to be a friend? Or, yeah. But there is something to look at here, because it helps you confront the inner fears that are bullying you. So what is the inner fear? That people might get close again and people might hurt you, right? Okay, what are you hiding behind? Even that feels kind of hidden, to be honest. Even that feels kind of hidden. Beggar. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awakens the spiritual authority of humanity. Compassion and self-esteem. Oh, you know, okay, what I see right now, this person looks like they stayed in their pajamas and they're having a coffee and they're not looking at the world. It's literally what it looks like to me. I'm staying in my pajamas, I'm having my coffee, my herbal decaf tea, whatever it is, and I'm not looking at the world. So not looking, maybe not looking for new relationships, not looking for new situations or opportunities. Boy, there's definitely, like, some of you too. Some of you may have lost your home. Some of you may have lost some sort of revenue source. Because empowerment at the level of physical survival. Shit. So this almost feels like something has happened and the universe is kind of, it's being used on you for you to confront your your self-empowerment, your self-esteem. But it's being done at a physical survival level, which is kind of scary. It's like do or die, honey. Do or die. Make it through this or don't. What are you going to do? And sometimes that's what it comes down to for us to realize what we're capable of. So, but this is what you're hiding. The fears that bully you. Self-empowerment, self-esteem. That makes sense. What do we always say? Like, anyone who is a bully, and I'm not saying you're a bully. I'm really reading this as a protective mechanism that might be coming off as intimidating to others. It is. It's a defense mechanism that you're utilizing right now. But here's the inner fear. The self-esteem. The self-esteem, I think, is a big one. And personal empowerment. Really, really being like a sovereign being here. And almost as if the universe kind of pushing things out of your life, pushing you out of the lives of people or places or things. Now do it. Now do it. But so a lot of what I think is people are seeing is this part, the kind of beggar, the actual obvious situation that's going on for you. Because that's what you're hiding behind. So that's what you see. That's what I mean, like why this is what is supposed to be clearly visible almost felt like it was also something kind of hidden. Like these two are very connected. This awakens a real strong degree of authority, like spiritual authority within yourself, compassion and self-esteem. Could have even been someone who had quite a bit in your life. Maybe you were very fortunate. Maybe you, your parents were well off. It doesn't have to be. So, you know, I'm not putting it out there and saying that, yeah, you had the silver spoon in your mouth. It does not have to be. But it could be for some of you that, you know, certain things were looked after and you didn't realize how hard looking after yourself is. And I'm only bringing that up too because this awakens compassion for humanity. And when you say humanity, that is every level of human being. Understanding what it is to have and understanding what it is to have not. Understanding what it is to have been given something, an opportunity, a level up, and understanding what it is to have that taken away, or to not have that advantage, or to not have that opening. There's been some loss here. And I really feel like it's happened on a very physical way even too. That feels so strong. Like it could have been like physical abuse in relationships. Look at the shadow here. Conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. Both are very, very damaging to people. I mean, if someone was in a situation of either verbal or physical abuse, a lot of times it's just like you got to get out of there. You just can't stay there anymore. So you might end up in a situation where you're trying to physically survive now. It's almost, yeah. It's almost as if you could have been in a situation in the past, and it was so bad for you that the universe was saying, like, what does it take to get you to stand up for yourself? What does it take? Show me you're going to do this. What does it take to get you to stand up for yourself? It actually reminds me of a situation I was in. And I had pulled out, I had gone through some old photos that I had never unpacked when I had moved. And I found a picture of my grandfather and I put it on my night table. And I could hear him speaking to me, and he kept saying, the Cindy I knew would never allow herself to be treated this way. Why are you? Right? Like, that's kind of like what this is, what this feels like. I almost feel like the universe saying, hey, at what point are you going to step up for you? Oh, Cancer. I really wish I could hug right now. Get that in your readings a lot. I just want to do a Cancer hug. Okay, why you hide your true self? I like it. Detective. This came out in the Aries reading. It was who they really were, or know what they were hiding behind, their detective skills. So it's got a little bit of that. You have so much hidden in this reading. I swear, like everything. You're hiding everything. You are, like, it's almost like you're a Russian doll. And then there's another, no. Until you get down to the little bone. At least that was in the set that I had. It was a bone. That seemed like a weird thing, but look at detective. Oh, look at this. Look at how she has both her eyes covered, not wanting to look at anything, any options, any people around you. And then why? Why you're hiding your true self? I'm going to peek and I'm going to see what I see. And I'm not putting myself out there too much. So y'all deal with that. Great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. It's almost like trying to walk into a room and stand in the corner in the shadows and to hope that no one kind of notices, because you want to case the space. You want to see the dynamic of what's going on. You want to see the personality traits of who's there. Is there anyone here? Are you setting yourself up? Are you walking into a situation where someone could end up being a physical or emotional or verbally abusive to you? So you're detecting. You are being a detective. You're being cautious. You're being diligent. I want to say sly. If you want, you can take on some of what Aries had, which was Columbo, little detective Columbo. Okay, how this affects your relationships. Destroyer. Woo! Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. You are releasing relationships that are not good. You're releasing them and you're preparing for the new. That's pretty simple. This card came out, what did I do? Gemini, but over here. But here, it's funny how having this in this spot, the message is different. And it's so strong and clear. You're just, how this affects your relationships. You're releasing shit. You were just releasing, you were destroying, you were cutting off the red thread, you are blocking, I don't know. You are doing what you need to do to make sure that you are never again in any sort of energy that is detrimental to your survival, to your physical, spiritual, emotional survival, financial survival. And you are preparing for the new. And in doing that, like, using a lot of peripheral vision, let's say. Advice for you. Hedonist. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. Oh, yeah. Especially if there's something here that's been abusive in the past. You need to sit and eat a big bowl of juicy, almost not You know when fruit is not overripe, but is just hit it. It's just so perfect. Enjoy that. Enjoy the lushness of life. Enjoy what it feels like to feel safe. Enjoy what it feels like to feel nurtured. Enjoy what it feels like to feel nutrient rich, I'm hearing. Enjoy what it feels like to feel alive and good. Embrace that. Do this for you. If you want to stay in your pajamas, you can stay in your pajamas. But I don't know, dress it up a little bit. Do it just for you. Just dress up and see how good you can feel and look. And it almost just like, it's just like kind of like Taurus energy, like soft blankies, and just really enjoy it. It kind of feels like there's been a lack of the things that feel nice. Yeah. Like there's been a lack of the things that feel nice. So the outcome, if you follow the advice, martyr, learning to transcend nature of service to oneself or a cause. Wow. That's funny. This card came out in Taurus, but it came out with a lot of different cards and different spots, so the message is so different. But yours is really like lifting yourself up from some point of being the beggar. Being the beggar. Oh my God, I'm getting that Mary Tyler song in my head. You're gonna make it after all. Do 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 do. Don't know. I grew up in the 70s. That shit's just like ingrained. TV was always on in the background. I'm really hearing that. You're gonna make it after all. And throw your hat. Right? Actually, that's really interesting, because that was a very that show was really ahead of its time. That show was really ahead of its time. So learning to transcend nature of service to oneself or a cause. Because once you can look after yourself, once you can know that you can be in charge of your physical survival, once you know, once you feel the awakening of your own spiritual authority within this human experience, and you have compassion for yourself and all others, this elevates your self-esteem. This is like elevating. And the light side, though, of the martyr is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself. So you must always put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on your companion or a cause. So, isn't it great? Yeah. This kind of has this, I don't know if Mary Tyler Moore is the right character for the energy of this. I don't really know what the backstory was for her character before she ended up at, where was she working? With Lou Grant. And I know younger people will be coming to this going, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was playing some Whitney Houston because it was channeled yesterday, downstairs in the kitchen today. And my son, he's sitting there eating and he's looking. He's almost 12. I said, what? You want me to turn my music down? He says, yeah. Your music you need to turn down. I said, it's Whitney Houston. And he looks at me, he says, who? I was like, oh my God. What do you mean, who? I said, Whitney Houston. She was married to Bobby Brown. And he says, I have no idea who those people are. I have no idea who these people are that you listen to. So I'm sorry for the younger generation. Saboteur. Highlight your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Oh, shit. Child eternal, femme fatale. Oh, what interesting energies. Look at this, Cancer. Okay. This is definitely what has happened over here, because this is all about self-empowerment on every level. Physical survival, spiritual authority over yourself, compassion for your experience and other people's experience, and elevating your self-esteem. Highlighting your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. You are the only person in charge of your life, and you are the only person truly responsible for your choices and outcomes. child eternal. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. That's so important to get away from whatever this was, because that will age you. My mom had, I'm starting to sound like an old lady. My mom had an aunt, and she was in a very verbally abusive relationship. She was also blind. She had become blind at one point. And so, like, this is a long time ago. They're long past now. I was a kid, and I think I was a teenager when my mom's, I guess, uncle died. And do you know, her aunt took on an entirely new life. I think her husband died when, I don't know, they were in their early 70s. So she ended up living until she was 90. And do you know, as a blind elderly woman who had been verbally abused for 40 years or whatever it was, she started looking younger. She started traveling with friends. She found a group of like-minded female friends in her late 70s that she'd never met. So you never know at what age you're going to meet new soulmates. And they traveled. She couldn't really see anymore, but she experienced all the scents and sounds and tastes and feels and joys of life and traveling with these friends. Because you see, this energy, if you've been in something abusive, if you are in something abusive, it will age you. It will age the crap out of you. And when you get out of it, you will find the child within you again. And that's what this aunt did. That's what she did. To think that she went through, and you know, the time that she would have been married in probably in the 40s or the 50s, you know, doesn't matter if your husband was abusing you back then, you were supposed to stay. But yeah, I think it was when I was a teenager that he had died, and my mom was just going on and on about, I just can't believe how great Aunt whoever has just changed, and she's traveling around the world, and she looks great. And then, like, femme fatale, so you wouldn't even become like a femme fatale. You'd be like, But, okay, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. There's some codependency issues here. Or there was. Oh, Cancer. I like these feels. I don't like the feels of you know what? I like the feels of your, this is a transformation. Okay, so Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Who you really are. Generosity. You're Saturn and Leo. There's something about this. Whenever I see Saturn, I always think of like constraints, things that are pulled in tight. I feel like generosity has been, what I'm trying to say, has been kind of withheld from you. I feel like you're a very generous person, and the generosity has likely been taken advantage of. You're very generous, but the generosity has been taken advantage of. Okay, you're hiding behind this beggar, which tells me it's time to come out and really look good. Look good, feel good, live good. Time to come out of the pajamas. Oh, now you have control. This is Jupiter in Capricorn. It has a really feel of the World card though too. The way it's like God, or the image of God, is sitting on this globe, and the snake, the serpent, eating its tail. This cycle needs to end. I have the Two of Pentacles here. I guess it's the same energy as Jupiter and Capricorn. But you see, yeah, that's what you're hiding behind. You're hiding behind, I have these things that I need to do for myself. I need to make the bed. I need to water the plants. I need to buy some groceries. That's not living. You need to get out and live a little bit again, I think. Especially with your advice. Like, this is living. She's living. She's eating all the good stuff. Why you hide your true self? Detective. Devotion. Oh, you are gluttony for punishment, man. Saturn and Libra. You might have trouble letting go. I think that's a bit of a Cancerian trait. You might have trouble letting go to things that are no longer worth investing in. There may be a part of you that even looks, you be careful with this. That's something that does happen a lot. People can be in abusive relationships, whether it's physical or verbal, emotional. And they leave the abuser and then they go back to it. I think I read a statistic on that. Gosh, I'm going to get it so wrong. But it's something crazy like, often, particularly women, I know guys will get upset and saying, guys get abused too. I know you guys do, but the numbers are completely different. So it's just, and most men, not all, have some sort of monetary funds to get themselves out of situations where a lot of times women have given up their jobs to raise children and they don't have the monetary funds anymore. So that's, one of the reasons. Anyways, it's something crazy, like a woman who's been in an abusive relationship will go back I think it's 4 or 5 times until they finally leave. It's almost like quitting smoking. Like, when people try to quit smoking, there's a statistic on that where often, it's not the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth try. It's the 6th try. Just seeing, this bird is dead. There's no reason to be hanging around anymore. There might be wondering if there's a chance something could get better, or there is a bit of that here for sure. Not wanting to let go, not knowing how to let go. How this affects your relationships. Oh boy, inspiration and destroyer, right? Mercury and Pisces. It feels a lot about like dreaming in the unknown, really. There's a lot of unknown in your relationships right now, a lot. There's a lot of things that could potentially be quite inspiring, like new things. There's a lot of dreams and fantasies about relationships right now, but it doesn't feel like that there's a lot of physical relationship for you right now. And if there are people that you physically see daily or on a somewhat daily basis, it doesn't seem like there's more fantasy around it than anything. It could be very mundane and there may not be anything very exciting about it or with great depth. So most of the depth exists maybe even in the 5D. There could actually, you could, it's really funny, I'm scratching the moon, my moon tattoo while I say that. It's almost as if there's more communication for you in the 5D in relationship than in the 3D. Advice for you. Oh boy, honey, you go out and you have a good time. I don't know what my mom's aunt did when she went on those trips. Maybe she was a little bit of femme fatale. I don't know. I think in her late 70s. I don't know. You got seduction. So you have seduction, and the hedonist inspires creative energy to embrace the good things of life, honey. I love that. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. This could be just like seducing yourself. That didn't come out right. Oh, Cindy. You know what I don't know. Double entendre. I don't know that one. Oh, that's Jupiter in Pisces. This is turning the inspiration into seduction. What's going on in the 5D with y'all? What's going on in the 5D? Might be thinking about taking it into the 3D. Growing and expanding with Jupiter. Outcome and follow the advice. The Martyr. Protection. The Moon in Aries. I want to read this one for you. I don't remember why I pulled it. Oh, I think it fell on the floor the other day. And I thought, oh, what's that card? So let me read it. I'm going to read you this one. This one is interesting. And I think you need to hear the message if this is your story. All right. The Moon in Aries. Moon in Aries. The events this could be around. Defensive action. Maternal instinct. Business enterprise. Arguments over property. Reluctantly moving. Family upsets or responsibility. Yes, I know that was because it kind of feels like this. You know, this beggar energy. If you're looking after your physical survival, you may not have a home. You may have, I don't know. You know, it's serious shit. In a reading, this card might suggest that the questioner watch that sympathy with another's predicament does not leave him or her vulnerable to manipulation. Maybe you have a past partner that's that won't let go. Oh, why you hide yourself? Yeah, maybe you have a past partner that is having trouble letting go. Saturn with Libra, right? Like hanging on. So you're being very covert. One could find oneself having to protect one's position. The card may indicate a link with the questioner's talent for buying property or running a business from home. So there's that. But I really, yeah, I felt that link in with the beggar, but now I see it with the devotion. What's at the bottom? Restlessness, Mercury and Aries. Oh, yeah, that seems, yeah, that's me actually. I think my Mercury's in Aries and my Mars is in Gemini. Thinking. Fulfillment. You're restless about your fulfillment. There's some physical fulfillment needs you need. Some physical fulfillment needs here. This is a really interesting reading. It does. It reminds me of that story of that great aunt. Yeah. And how she just went out and she had a good time after. And I remember my mom saying, I didn't realize she was such a nice lady until my uncle died. Right? Like, she was living such a miserable life, so she kind of became miserable with him. I'm going to go do your extended Cancer. Thank you so much, my loves. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.